All right, everybody, away we go. Welcome to today's call. It is Friday, August 20th of 2021. This is the TRC telemarketing and sales training call. So as you know, largely telemarketing, but I'm always open to sales questions from the outside sales as it relates directly to what we're speaking about here. We have had extensive conversations at the mastermind level about the entirety of the process, meaning when we go over these beats, we want you to understand each beat individually. We want you to understand why we train you this way. And we want you to understand that in the long run, it's follow-up where the real money is. It's not just trying to skim the next appointment off the latest lead. That's not what we're looking for. Certainly those will come. Certainly those are wonderful when they do come. However, that's not the only thing you're after here. You're after even more so the build out of a productive list of people that you can call on the regular that become clients, so that you're not always hoping that the latest batch of leads, because you're all so panicked about leads. I don't have enough leads. No, you don't have enough good, solid prospects who you've been nurturing over a certain period of time that are easily turning into clients, in addition to when you get lucky and you get somebody early. So remember, that's part and parcel a look at the entirety of the system. The first beat is to get this package of information. The second beat is to qualify their reason and their motivation to do so. The third beat is to book the appointment when it's appropriate and get us out there to add that insight. It's very important. So what we did this week in the mastermind, you'll all be seeing it soon enough. We went and we just broke those three beats out into it was almost looks like a flyer. We also built out an infographic to explain the steps in prospecting. So more and more and more, your education is being simplified, chunked up, so that there are no excuses why human discretion would ever get in the way of the system. Furthermore, what I'll say, and I'll reiterate it because I shared it with the mastermind members, I'm reading Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. And I think one of the most amazing things is he repeats what I said about a system and this discipline and this organization actually releasing a better version of you. So sometimes when you are untrainable, uncoachable, you don't allow yourself to get to a higher level because you're fighting some absolute belief that you're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to always be right. And that's just wrong, right? It's just wrong. I have humbled myself to systems now for well over 10 years. I've been introduced to them for over 20 years. But the last 10 years, I've humbled myself to say the system is smarter than me. And I stick to it all the time. And with the mastermind group, we beat on these systems against empirical evidence, meaning when you bring me a live call, we are listening as a mastermind. We're listening to how does the consumer react to the theoretical systematic approach we have. And then more and more that theory becomes real. It becomes the truth. It becomes the way things really work and get the effect you want. So don't fight it. Don't be insecure about it. Accept the open constructive criticism, because we don't know what we don't know, each of us. So everybody's at a little bit of a different level of development personally, and you have to accept that process. And I want to reiterate it at the beginning of this call. We've had people come in here that were new telemarketers that within the first round of getting critiqued, quit. Oh, it's too harsh. She said, what? What are you talking about? You all agreed to be trainable. That's say exactly what we say. And then coachable, bring me the calls. I will critique them against that system, listening to the consumer who's ultimately the real boss. You've agreed to that game. Play that game, and I'll guarantee you, and I mean I will guarantee you, you will release a higher, more productive, more successful version of yourself, okay? So there's my harassment, my harangue for this week. Let me get right to them. I know some of you have sent me some calls here, so I will take a look at what order they came in. And I know Jason was kind enough. I heard you calling my name, but I was focused there, buddy. I know that you were going to send me some past.
Yeah, I sent you two.
Good. Okay, so you sent me some follow-up stuff, right? Are we always at that, or where are we at?
Well, it was one call from beginning entry to setting an appointment that Cheryl done at set, and then one call I did today.
Okay. If you are also on here, because I don't see that many recordings sent to me. Carla, you were first as usual. Angeli, I'm hoping you're on here. Please say yes if you are. Jason, and that's it. So I should be hearing from Maxie and Russell, definitely. I should be hearing from, gosh, I'm trying to think now. Everybody, Alexis, hoping that you sent your stuff to the right email. So make sure it's danny.griffin@therealtyclassroom.com. Danny.griffin, Griffin, @therealtyclassroom.com. Okay. I should be seeing more every week. And like I said to the mastermind members, I'll speed through them if I have a lot. If not, I have to stretch out what I have. All right. So let's go with Carla first because she's diligent and she's always in there first. All right, my dear, tell me what we have here. You have to unmute yourself. I muted everybody. So you have to unmute yourself, Carla.
I said, let's play the game.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. I like it. I like it. All right. I like it. Here we go.
All right. Hello, Stephen Leonard, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephen. This is Carla. I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling because I saw your beautiful home online. Noticed that it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it next time. May I do that on Larkwood, 1449 East Larkwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. By the way, it looks like a beautiful property. Why do you think it didn't sell?
Well, the price. It's just, when you break $1 million, it's a...
Oh boy, what happened there? Shoot, you guys all with me? Did I lose you too?
Here.
Okay, good. That was weird. Hang on. Yep, it kicked me out right when we were getting to a good, beautiful intro. Real good. Real good. I loved that. Let me see why I got logged out by Google. The Googles. You there, Carla?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Here.
That was really good so far. Let's go back to it.
Hello, Stephen Leonard, please. See, okay.
because when you break $1 million, it's a whole different group of people you're looking for.
I see. Okay.
I own my own company. I own my own construction.
Carla, right there, word whiskers. I see. Let him finish. It's interesting. Yeah. We're very, very uncomfortable when we're talkers, which you and I are, in silence. That was another thing I learned from this book. Peterson, his background as a clinical psychologist. And oftentimes, in psychology, it's very, very much about really listening to somebody. And I want to emphasize that. It's so dang subtle, but to me, it's like somebody screaming. When I hear those little word whiskers where you're interfering with the listening process, okay. I mean, again, we can't be visual because he's not seeing you, but to really feel like you're intently listening to him. If you're just talking at each other, it just doesn't go anywhere, right? So it really, right. There's a lot of this scripting that is flat out listening. You asked him a question. Okay. And again, let's go back. I think you skipped a beat there too about, I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. We're rushing. And that just tells me that you're not really listening, meaning you're so worried about your performance. You're so worried about being perfect. You're so worried about being on time that you're not listening. And you're not, finishing the whole process. And it's not a harsh critique. It's a subtlety. It's a higher level. But again, I keep saying this to you each week. You come here so ready and willing and able to play the game of learning and giving me this, this stuff that we listen to it, right? And this is really good. So I want to make sure, let me see if I can bring up what we created so far. I want to show it on the screen if I can.
What's the name of this book, Listening, Danny? What's the name of
the book? No. I'm talking about the 12 Rules for Life from Jordan, by Jordan Peterson. Okay. It's just, there are a lot of nuggets in there. It's a very well-written book, whether you like him politically or not is irrelevant. He's very bright. And so I think what I learned about it is because his background, I'll repeat, is as a psychologist, a clinical psychologist who spent a lot of time talking to people, he talks about listening and really listening. And maybe because I have to do so much coaching and you hear a lot of talking out of me, I'm doing a lot of real acute listening when I'm listening to these calls. And I pick up on these subtleties, okay? And that's one of them, is that you're rushing and it's setting you up to not be a good listener. Okay. And I'm going to prove that point to you in a second here when I show my screen. Let me share it. So here's what we did. Lee asked me to do this, which was break these beats out into printables. You were kind enough to show us physically what yours look like. We're like, well, why don't we just do it for you? So we have this done. Okay. So you can see at the bottom, read for me aloud. What's the last line that's fully in bold? Carla?
I will call you next week to make sure that you receive the information.
Okay. So let's go there and let's see what this sounds like. Let's go back because this is training. So this is really, really, really hyper-focused training. That your brain must listen to that line if it's said, and if it's not, then we have a training issue that I have to
Hello,
repeat.
Stephen Leonard, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephen. This is Carla. I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling because I saw your beautiful home online. Noticed that it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it next time. May I do that on Larkwood, 1449 East Larkwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. By the way, it looks like a beautiful property. Why do you think it didn't sell?
Okay.
Well, the price.
Did you say it? Carla?
Yes.
Did you say it?
Did I say what?
Carla? Read the last
Yes.
read the last line, number 5.
Well, there's nothing up on the screen right now.
Okay.
I will call you. Yeah, there's nothing. I will call you next week to make sure that you receive the information.
Okay. Did you say it?
No, I did not.
Okay. You critique yourself for a second. Let's think about, I told my son, and again, I'm just going to highly recommend this to everybody. When you're learning on a call like this, you should never be far from one of these yellow pads. You should have a legal pad. I prefer a mechanical pencil with an eraser so that I get fireflies and I put them in the jar. Okay. So there are a lot of fireflies going on in the brain. The brain starts to fire all these ideas, these thoughts, these words, and it's confusing. And I can hear yours is very noisy right now, right?
Yeah.
So you're having trouble following me as you are following this script. So you need to slow down. So tell me right now, and I'll write it down for you. There's something magical about going from the brain, capturing a firefly, sending them through your arm, out through the pencil and onto paper and into the jar, meaning onto the paper. Okay. So what are you thinking right in this moment when you get him to that point where you confirm the address?
Well, you get excited. I mean, he was, oh, yes, ma'am, send it. Your mind kind of goes like fluttered. It jumps. It goes to, great, he's interested. He wants the information. You got to stay focused.
Okay. Well, we don't need to coach ourselves yet. We just need to catch the fireflies. So 2 powerful words. You're excited and you're fluttered. Your mind is fluttered, right?
Yeah.
See, I wrote those down. So there's something magical about seeing those words. They're captured. So part of listening to you is the act of doing this, but part of listening to what's going on in your own brain is a self-therapeutic, sales thing, right? You have to do it that way. So you have to get these words down. When you coach with me, I recommend this to all of you. Get a yellow pad. A couple of my mastermind members are always taking notes, and you can hear them, right? You can hear them taking notes. Sorry, I'm just taking notes. I said, no, I know. Right? I know what you're doing, John Parasek, Freddie Garcia. There are some people that are very clearly taking notes. Take notes, because at some point in time, I have to do this job of training this script into your brain. And there are some subtleties. It's really, really nice right up until, may I do that? And you sort of stumble over him, right? You don't really go, may I do that? And stop. Right? You start to get into the address way up there at 4. So let's just listen to, when do you really get fluttered? Okay. This is really, really slow motion. Let's try to listen to your mind fluttering. Okay. Let's listen to it.
Hello, Stephen Leonard, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephen. This is Carla. I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling because I saw your beautiful home online. Noticed that it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it next time. May I do that on Larkwood?
See, you rush it. All he says is yes, ma'am. He doesn't really give you any reason to be excited or fluttered yet. So what you're thinking is triggering you is not necessarily the reality of what we're listening to together. Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
Okay, because all he says is yes, ma'am. He never says anything else that triggers you. So if you go to the training and you take a look at the specifics, so I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that? Stop. Right? Stop and do what? Stop and do what?
Well, yeah, stop and then go to the next beat.
No, there's the problem. Stop and do what?
Okay.
When you ask somebody a question, based on what I told you about Peterson's book, what should you be doing after that question mark?
After he said yes, ma'am.
After,
just
no,
continue.
Carla, are you tracking me? Something's off here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, well then something's going on. You're not listening to me. So listen to me. When we ask something and there's a question mark at the end of it, what would be the best thing we could do at that point in time? The best practices. Somebody help her out. What's the best thing to do at the end of a question mark?
Be quiet and listen.
Thank you. Listen. You hear it coming from everywhere. See the problem here?
Stop and listen.
Carla, listening is the greatest skill of a telemarketer. How about that? It's the number one skill. And especially anywhere there's a question mark in these beats, it's so necessary that you listen to what he says because there are other outcomes. What if he says, what are you sending me? You see, we have in bold, the mastermind has already thought about this. Only if you're asked, right? I'm mailing you a list of properties with pictures and details that's sold in your price range while you're on the market. I'm also including a copy of our 7-step seller plan. Now, you've been trained very well where you don't do that anymore voluntarily. You don't do that out of nerves. You said excited. I'm going to tell you what I hear is nervous. Okay. My firefly coaching you is nervous. You come across to me as very nervous. Okay. So that's the effect that I see. There's an effect. You try to help me out. What's the cause of your nervousness?
Honestly, I just think it's excitement that somebody's interested. Yes, ma'am. What do you got? I mean,
he's not interested
friendly.
yet, but hold on, go deeper. I'm not going to accept that as an answer because you're repeating.
Right. No, he's friendly. He's accepting. He's listening. He's friendly.
I know, but I'm asking you a different question. Hold on. I'm asking you a different question. The effect that I hear that's interfering with your performance per se is nervousness. That's what I hear as a coach.
Okay.
That's the effect. I'm asking you to take a beat and go deeper and say, what might be causing my nervousness, not excitement. I don't think you're excited. I think you're nervous about something. What's the cause?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't.
Okay, you do if you dig deeper.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Okay.
It's fear. I get nervous too. Some people just instill fear in you when they answer the phone.
Okay, so that's for you. Yeah, you fearful, Carla?
No, honestly.
Okay, so what do you think it is then? Something's making you nervous, which is a little bit more of a negative term than excitement.
Okay.
I just think you're nervous. Are you trying to be perfect? Let me ask you a different question. I'm going to keep asking questions and listen.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
I think it's honestly, I'm going to be really completely honest. I think I'm just trying to do like a really good job. I was excited that he seemed to respond. Like, you get 200-300 voicemails in a row, and all of a sudden it's like, great, he's listening, he's excited. Yes, ma'am. I know he didn't per se say he's excited, but it makes you feel like he's a possibility. It's a nice house. It's over $1 million.
Okay, stop for a second.
Yeah.
Because I want to go backwards and rewind the tape. I don't know if I got it exactly, but one of the fireflies that lit up very loudly for me when you were talking, I'm just really trying to do a good job with something like that. Tell me more about that.
Well, I'm just trying to, I was excited. He answered.
No, you keep going back. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm just really trying to do a good job. Define for me what really doing a good job is.
Well, trying to get some good, honestly, trying to get some good leads for Kyle and Scott.
Okay, prospects.
Trying to get them some good appointments, some good prospects.
Prospects.
Right.
Not leads.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And
prospects.
I'm
trying to get them some good prospects.
Okay. And what happens if you don't?
Well, I'm thinking if I don't, eventually they're going to say, hey, what's going on? I'm trying to get them some good.
Okay. Hey, what's going
prospects.
on? Hey, what's going on? What happens after, hey,
Right.
what's going on?
Well, we're not producing. I'm thinking produce.
Okay. So what?
In my head, that's just me. They haven't
Of course
come
it's you.
to me.
That's all I care. Hold on. Now, this is all about you. Hey, what's
Okay.
going on? Not producing. What happens if you're not producing?
Well, you can not have a job any longer.
Okay, so you can get
if you're not
fired.
producing.
You can get fired, huh?
Right.
Okay, good.
Right.
We finally got there. You're so
Right.
worried about being fired, not producing, that they're going to be saying, hey, what's going on? That you better really do a good job. Do you see how that's the cause? I think the effect is you sound fearful or nervous. She called it fear. I call it nervousness. But you still have to find out the cause of why we're fearful. You still have to find out the cause of why you sound nervous. You're too worried about getting fired here at your very core, and you've got to let that go to be more effective.
Okay.
You've got to let it go. Okay. Have you been able to, now let's look at what's in front of you for reality. Have you ever booked appointments for Scott or Kyle?
Yes, of course.
How many? Any idea?
About five or six.
Okay. Have any turned into listings?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Okay. Have they closed?
One closed and one still in the process.
Okay. So by all technical purposes, you have driven at least something down the chute and been successful.
Right.
Quite frankly, I think for a time there, they had you doing all sorts of stuff that you probably shouldn't have been doing. There's been tweaking of the systems, and you've still been successful in bringing a closing. And you've gotten 5 appointments. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just focus on success. Let's stop focusing on what could go wrong. You're not getting fired, especially on my watch. You're not getting fired. How about that?
Okay.
You're here every week working hard. But the problem with being able to personally make progress is this fear or nervousness about being fired is coming across, and you're rushing it. Now, I do understand that there's a little kerosene thrown on that fire through excitement. I do understand the job hazard of getting 300 voicemails. That was a very dramatic number you threw out. 300 voicemails, right? Because that's what it feels like.
Right.
And maybe that's an accurate number, maybe it's not, but it's how you perceive it in your head. I'm dialing ad nauseum, and everybody's voicemail. The guy answers and he says, yes, ma'am. And the tone is, I'm excited, I'm fluttering. But deeper than that, you're so white-knuckled that prospects pursued run away if you're not careful. Now, I don't think you overdid anything here. I don't think he's going to run away from you. Right?
Right.
That's the point here today. So I really want everybody listening attentively to what's going on here. So let's listen to it again, and we're going to run the whole thing and just listen and wonder to yourself as you go along this beam of light, am I really worried about getting fired along the way? And is it making me rush? Is it making me skip steps? You're still effective, but I need you to be the most effective, best version of yourself. That's why training at a micro level for you in particular now becomes paramount. Here we go. Of course, it won't go right on command, so let me go again.
Hello, Stephen Leonard, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephen. This is Carla. I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling because I saw your beautiful home online. Noticed that it didn't sell, so I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it next time. May I do that on Larkwood, 14449 East Larkwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. By the way, it looks like a beautiful property. Why do you think it didn't sell?
Well, the price. It's just, you know, when you break $1 million, it's a whole different group of people you're looking for.
I see. Okay.
You know, so, you know, because I own my own company. I own my own construction company for 30 years. So
okay, well, let
I
me
kind of know, you know what I mean?
Right. Let me send you out our 7-step seller plan. I'll send you photos and details of homes recently sold in the area. And on it.
See what I mean? There it is again. Right? There it is again. It's just not in there. You know what I mean?
But Danny, also what's not in there is why do you think it didn't sell?
I understand. I'm about to give her the second beat.
Oh.
It's not even there. So let's bring this up next. Right? So Carla, when you start rushing, it's almost like it can't be stopped. It's like a snowball going downhill. So here's the second beat. By the way, while I have you, looks like a beautiful home. Why didn't it sell? He starts talking about, well, when you get over $1 million, blah, blah, blah. Really? On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you? You know, well, yeah, I don't even know if he goes. Yeah, I don't even know if you ask him the why. I don't think she did. Did she, Gail?
No, she said, why do you think it didn't sell instead of why are you trying to sell it?
Well, there you go. So Carla.
And so that's what I answered. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah. So where's it coming from? Where's all this coming from? Rushing, nervousness, fear of being fired. And the worst part is you're actually hurting your ability to be more effective, to do the opposite of being fired, right? Follow me? The training is very, very clear here. 1B, finish. 2B, finish. 3B, finish, if appropriate on this call. If not, next call. That's all there is to this. There's no more, no less. You ready? This is a training moment for you. Carla, this is Danny Griffin calling from Griffin Realtor Group. I'm calling you because I saw your beautiful home online and noticed that it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it the next time. May I do that? Let's just say Carla says yes. Great. May I confirm that your best mailing address is, and I state the property address, right? Next, I'll call you next week to make sure that you receive the information, period. Now, why is that beat and its completion so important? Because what's going out in the mail is part of a process. We have not asked you to join his team because you can do this on muscle. We're not interested in you doing it on muscle. It's too much work. It's painful. And that's not the way the system works. The system works best when this package of information that looks like one of these here is delivered. It is fulfillment. And I say this every week, like Amazon. We make a promise of free information that will help them sell it their next time. We deliver it whether or not they're perfect avatars, whether or not any other circumstance gets in the way. I just made you an offer. You've accepted it. This is coming to you. Now, only if you ask me what's in it will I describe it. Well, there'll be 6 or 7 properties that sold in your price range, complete with pictures and details, straight from the MLS. And there'll be a copy of the 7-step plan that Kyle customizes for his clients, all of yours for free. Period. Now, when this goes in the mail and it arrives, and you look at the size and the weight, right? And the quality of the product inside, and the fact that it actually is helpful information to indeed help them sell it next time with or without us. It's the real thing. It's the truth. We said something and then we followed up. It's the truth, right? That's what we're in pursuit of here. So this has to get to them in order for the full system to have its full effect, which is we are the only ones that take the time to organize free information that will indeed help them sell their property correctly the next time, period. So if you rush that beat and you don't book the follow-up call there, you're just trying to rush and book an appointment because you are so nervous about getting fired that your emphasis, and when you even started to say it here in the coaching, I got to get the leads. You even called them the wrong thing. I get them leads, prospects, appointments. Why? Because I get fired. That was the voice I heard even before you even told me that. I already know all that from experience. It's not my first rodeo to hear what that fear and that nervousness actually is. And the reason why a lot of people blow themselves up, quite frankly, is because they won't slow down. Just slow down. That's all you need to do. Slow down, and you're going to get these beats, okay? Because we'll post them for the now that they're all done. I think we did, Gail, didn't we? Aren't these infographics up there? Tell Kyle, please, to go into the expireds under the the Word document PDFs, and he can print these for you, and you can hang these up. Okay? Because it's really important that we break these things all out and that you train your brain to slow down and go back to almost reading them and making sure you understand that you need to finish and you need to listen in spite of your excitement that finally after 300 voicemails, you get a voice. You got it?
Yes. And I just want to reiterate, Kyle and Scott have never said to me, your job is online. I just want to say they've never said that. That's just me. That's
I know.
Me wanting to perform. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
That's all. I just want to reiterate that.
I know. I'm fully aware. I know.
That's all.
Because we think this is going to maybe hurt you. We think higher of you than you think of you. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We think, especially me, I think higher of you as a telemarketer than you think at the moment. And I'm trying to get that tide to rise so that you're at least with me, that you believe in you the way I believe in you, the way that Kyle and Scott believe in you. You've got to believe that more so. This is a personal insecurity, which is reasonable. It's reasonable. Anytime it's job performance fear, right? It's what it is. Everybody who works for somebody, quote unquote, seems to always be in fear of this moment. Instead of just not worrying about that and just doing the best that they can, all that fear comes in and it makes blind spots. See, to a lesser trained ear than my coaching ear, everybody would say, well, she's effective. What are you talking about? Leave her alone. You saw me? Bullshit. Period. You want to be great at something. This is what it takes. It takes the ability to train your own brain, your self-image. All of it is so critical to your own personal evolution above a system. But the system begs you, don't cheat me, Carla. Don't cheat me. Follow?
Yeah.
Don't cheat it. Stop cheating the words. Stop editing through nervousness and fear is why, but stop doing it. And by the way, you have slowed way down. So your evolution already is up leaps and bounds from where you started. You're not as nervous and rushing as you were in the beginning, but it's important to hear this. Let's hear it all the way through. Here we go.
Hello, Stephen Leonard, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephen. This is Carla. I'm calling from Remax Champions. I was calling because I saw your beautiful home online. Noticed that it didn't sell. So I'd like to send you some information that will help you sell it next time. May I do that on Larkwood, 14490 Larkwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. By the way, it looks like a beautiful property. Why do you think it didn't sell?
Well, the price. It's just, when you break $1 million, it's a whole different group of people you're looking for.
I see. Okay.
Because I own my own company. I own my own construction company for 30 years, so.
Okay, well,
I kind of know, you know what I mean?
Right. Let me send you out our 7-step seller plan. But I'll send you photos and details of homes recently sold in the area. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think? How highly motivated are you on trying to sell it right now?
Not making any decisions till Thursday, so I'm on the East Coast now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and I'll be headed back there Wednesday.
Okay.
So on Thursday, we're going to sit down and talk to my daughter, and we're going to throw some things around with the family, and we're going to go from there.
Okay, sounds good. I'll get out our information then today or tomorrow, so you'll have it.
Okay.
Where
Sure.
are you? Whereabouts back east?
South Carolina.
Okay, see, this is all, see what I mean? It just starts getting really squirrely in all sorts of different directions. Why does it matter where he's at?
Right. Yeah, I should have just went right in.
And Gail is 100% right. Where did you get the verbiage? Why do you think it didn't sell?
Yeah, no, it's not on the script at
No,
all.
but it was given to you originally though, wasn't it?
Yes, originally.
Okay, because it was a bad script, and this is what happens when the owners screw around with stuff, or the owners are not in touch with evolution of a better system, right? So that's why I said I take, Kyle and Scott to be accountable as much as anybody else. Is what I'm saying. We, as the consultant, and them as the coaching member or owner, has to get that point right. But I'm telling you, it just doesn't say that anywhere. And I hope anything that's up in front of you doesn't say that. Okay?
No, right.
Because it takes you off in this trajectory that's bad old school language. It's sort of this, get them talking for any reason is the nonsense that's coached out there. When the truth is, don't do that. Ask him why he's trying to sell it in the first place. You don't know that. And so now you're feeling guilty and you're trying to, oh, shoot, I said this. And well, where are you going? It just gets really squirrely and you've lost it here, right? Yeah. You've lost control. You can hear it. You can just hear it.
Okay. That's a nice area. Yeah. I know I have
beautiful.
It is beautiful. I have a friend in Huntington Beach that's actually selling her home and moving to South Carolina.
Who cares
for that?
So you can get a lot more for your money back east, right?
Oh, brand new house for around 200.
Oh, I know.
On a nice block, a new neighborhood, and I've already got 8 acres out here. It's just undeveloped.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but it's my wife doesn't like it because we're a little off the beaten path. It's just a little far out. We're a half hour from town, so she wants something more in town. But we still have to talk about that.
Okay.
I got daughters and grandkids. So, but yeah, send me over your information, and I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you,
okay.
Stephen. Have a safe trip back. Take care.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so some critical things here we don't know. The second beat, look at the first beat is the altruistic, let's give away our best stuff for free. Okay. Now, of course, my brain didn't fall out of my head, and I'm not trying to have us all become the next charitable organization. I think if you can leave a positive footprint and give away your best stuff for free and it helps somebody, it's a higher calling. But of course, we need to make money. We're in the business of making money. So the purpose of getting the package out to them is so that there's an ingratiation towards us and the fact that their flower will open up, meaning their mind. Okay. But this second beat is the singularly most critical piece of it. You have to set it up correctly by finishing the first. Wonderful. I'll send that out to you and I'll call you next week to make sure you got it. That would have already been done. And when you try to get into all this qualitative stuff about connecting, you have a habit as a telemarketer, probably from the past, of trying to connect too much. And I get it. 300 voicemails. Maybe you're lonely. I get it. And maybe it's just nice to be connected. I get it. Right? So the idea is that you've lost the ability to get what Scott, what Kyle, what Danny really need to know. Why was he selling in the first place? To see if he is a prospect avatar. See, all of your language because of this nervousness is off. I'm trying to get leads. No, you're not. You don't have anything to do with leads. You're not in the lead acquisition business. We get those for you and give them to you. Your job is to verify if this guy makes the prospect club. Does he have a real reason to sell inside the next 12 months? And is he highly motivated when he is ready in those next 12 months at a scale somewhere 9 to 10? And if not, why not? And if not, can we help him get there somehow with this information? That's it. That's what we need to know. If you want to really have job security, you need to try to find this out about every one of them. And the way that we help you do that is we set you up correctly by making a correct initial offer to get there. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. But it's got to tighten up A lot. Because these little subtleties, it might not seem, and that's why Gail's ear is so, high-pitched trained too. Why do you think it didn't sell? Is not what we say. We haven't said that for years. For years. Why are we trying to sell it in the first place? Why are we trying to sell it? Period. That's it. We want to get them to open up themselves. Why do you think it didn't sell? Well, what does that even mean? Are we trying to make him the expert, or is Kyle the expert? Kyle's going to tell him why it didn't sell when he gets a chance to have the insight in meeting, right? He's going to figure it out then.
Right.
We don't need this guy to figure it out. If he knew, then it'd be sold by now. Follow? So it's a very dangerous question. Stay away from that. Eliminate that and get this second beat down right. Here's your second call. Let's listen. Unless this
Good
is
morning,
the same.
Stephen.
Oh, it's the same follow-up.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Stephen. It's Carla over at Remax Champions. You had said check back on Thursday, but I wanted to give you the day to make sure you received our seller plan in the mail. How are you?
No problem. Good. How are you?
Oh, fine. Thank you. Are you back home now in California?
Yeah, we're back in California.
Okay. Did you receive that in the mail from us? You should have. I made sure they sent it out.
Yeah, I think, I have it in the mail. I was stuff, but I got it set to the side. So we're just going to put everything on hold for a couple months.
Okay.
So,
No
and
problem.
then from, a couple months down the road, I'll break out all my paperwork and start interviewing people and go from there.
Okay, sounds good. What I sent you, it should be helpful, and it came in a large manila envelope. I made sure Kyle got it out to you. So I'll follow up, say, around October 6th.
Sure, that'd be fine.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. You
Okay,
take care and have a
you're
nice
welcome.
weekend.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So
Bye-bye.
the problem still here is what? What's the problem still?
Didn't get to why.
Well,
Carla?
what's that? Yeah, well, he wanted to wait a couple months. He discussed it with his wife. I didn't want to push it.
Carla, what's the problem?
Yeah.
If I went into this guy's contact card with you and I said, explain what's going on here, what's the difficulty you would have?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's that?
Go ahead,
He
Tom.
wanted to wait.
Go ahead,
a couple
Tom.
months.
Tom, go ahead. What were you saying?
She was rushing and not listening to him.
Yeah, definitely. It's very rushed. And the problem is, like, go back to Jason. I don't know why this guy's selling because you don't know why. So how do I even know that October 6th is a good time to call this guy? How do I know that I couldn't have solved it? I just don't know anything about him. So what's missed is the entirety of getting that information. Look, in a formula, he has a real reason to sell or he doesn't.
Right.
We don't know. Right? So we've had two calls. A package has gone out. It's kind of off to the side, and he just got thrown into the pile. But we don't know why, and there's no subsequent offer that's been made here. Right? So this is a big thing that we're talking about now in the mastermind group. Is let me try to open this, and this will be the next level of really intense training with all of you. And it was already with Autumn and Kathy in my building. Is that when this package goes out and now there's a delay, they have the physical version of this package. And inside of it, Carla, tell me about the pictures and details. What are they pictures and details of?
Those homes that recently sold in their
Good,
area.
good. And there are some other things that I want to make sure Kyle puts in there. What is this? Can you see my screen?
I can't see that.
Okay, you can't see me holding something up?
I can't see it complete. I mean, I see you holding it up, but I can't see
Does it look familiar to
exactly
you?
what it says.
Does this look familiar to you?
No,
You've
no.
never seen one of these before?
no.
Okay. Do you have a camera
No.
with you?
Yes.
Take a
I'll
picture of that. Take a picture of that. And I want to know from Kyle by sundown why you don't have one of these in front of you every month.
Okay.
Because there's a problem in the
have that.
system. There's a problem in the system yet again. Okay. This is called a
Okay.
market update. It is extremely simple. It is extremely specific. And in the case that sometimes you all get questions, there should be at least one talking point. How's the market, Carla?
Okay.
Well, that's a little bit past what I do here for insights, but I can tell you, looking at the last market report, that the average sale price was up. And that means this, because they would have given you a talking point. But I think it'd be best if I set you up for an insight meeting with one of the guys, even if it's just a Zoom to start. Okay. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because you've got now how many months before you're supposed to call this guy back?
2 months.
Okay. So the issue is, what the heck do you say to a guy when you call him back? Well, in your case, it's going to sound like, are you ready yet? That's what it's going to sound like, because nothing was set up to say, look it, what I sent you in the mail included a list of sold properties in a market update. So what I'd like to do between now and October is I'd like to set you up with those property updates so you can see what continues to sell around you. And then you can also get a copy of a market update so you can see what's happening in the market. And then if you want, I'll start our seller tip series too. And I'll follow up with you in October to make sure you're receiving those things so you're properly prepared when it's time to go on the market again. See, everything is extremely systematic, okay? Extremely systematic, everything. We're trying to tighten it up so that there's no thinking. Then, if that's all done, I'm fine with Carolina conversation, East Coast conversation. But if that's in the middle of all this and you don't get me what I need as the owner, then I got a problem. I have what I call a bloated database of know nothings, right? What if you take a week off in October and I want to sit down at your day timer and I want to make those calls? Why can't I just look at the notes and say, oh, I see you were talking to Carla and you were thinking about selling your house because you wanted to move back to the East Coast, but you weren't sure because your wife wasn't really certain about the move. Is that right? Great. See what I'm saying? You leave me very hyper-specific context, of which I have none now, and of which there is no follow-up happening at all, at least him knowing it's coming in. You could still launch this stuff if you had an email address, but I'm not so sure you have an email address for him. Do you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you've learned a lot today. And the reason I used you as a case study is because there's not a single person on this phone call that has this down this tight. But that's our standard that we're shooting for. Got it?
Yeah.
But stop worrying about you. You're being of service to these people. And the highest level of being of service is to follow the system. And I think I made my case to you that you can't do this on muscle. There are too many things to remember in the midst of all the emotions that we carry into a sales. This is the same thing in a house too. If somebody's been booked for a listing presentation, there's no difference. We're excited. The mind is fluttering. We're nervous, but not if we're following a system. I mean, if I could get Tara Ramos on one of these phone calls, she went up against veterans in her first one, and she's a real extreme worrier, very extremely worried about being perfect, getting it right. But when she just calmed down, stuck the system, she won. She beat out veterans. She priced it right using the formula. Everything, I even double checked it. Everything was done correctly, and it's under agreement in a week, right? So a systematic approach can calm all these nerves and make them go away. But actually be careful of manifesting the very thing that you want, which is lack of production. And that'll happen like this. This is a good opportunity. You are in the hunt, but you're not set up to be completely competitionless in that lane. Follow?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else want to comment on that case study there today? It's a big one. There's a lot.
I would.
Yeah, go ahead. There's a
I
lot.
would.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack. Go for it.
Yeah, so I would, in the past I was doing the white knuckle approach, not having a systematic method like Danny and the team has provided for us. And additionally, follow-up was always something I hated to do simply for the fact that there wasn't a systematic way to have follow-up. It was always the are you ready yet approach that Danny alluded to. So what I will say, having used this methodology, it's so much better. So just trust the system and it will work for you. So that was just my quick thoughts on it.
Good. Anybody else want to comment? Tommy Turner, you want to comment? I mean, you had a reaction there, which I liked. So what did you hear?
No, that was just what I got off of it. Just that she was rushing and she really wasn't listening to him and taking down what he was saying. She was just in too big of a rush to get out what she wanted to say.
Yeah, which is ironic, right? Because what she wants after 300 voicemails per se, and I keep saying that a little tongue in cheek, right? That exasperation that a telemarketer has of sort of, talking into an empty chamber and then all of a sudden somebody answering. The irony is they rush, right? It's an irony. You'd almost think they want to slow down after all that no time, right? It'd be like, well, wait a minute. This was your opportunity to slow it down, enjoy the moment, go back and forth, take your time. What is the hurry, right? After all those no answers, what's the hurry? Get this one as right as you can so that when you follow up or you convert, your chances of converting go higher. So I agree with you. It felt very rushed, and there's a lot of stumbling and fumbling, and there's incorrect language. That's a training issue that needs to be retrained there. There's just a language issue. So you're gonna have to.
Danny, I think having the script now that you put it into 3 different. Well, how many categories do we have?
3. Yep, 3.
3 so far. That she's going to be able to look. If I do my telemarketing now because I don't have one, and so I just practice it when I'm taking a walk or whatever, so that I'm totally in sync with what I'm going to be saying. However, I need to listen.
Yeah.
And that rush part, you just have to calm yourself down. Whatever you have to do is because I'm doing a lot of stuff, not just telemarketing.
Yeah.
And so it's different. But if I were her or I were just a telemarketer, I would know that inside and out. I would practice it in the morning, afternoon, and night, so that I would be so confident. And that's what you want from her. Self-confidence is created by disciplining yourself and seeing yourself going through this process. And if Carla, you do that, you're a winner already, but you're gonna be in your mind, that self-confidence is going to develop for you, and then you're not going to have to run out of tarmac and start talking about stuff that doesn't matter.
That's right.
Because you're going to know the script.
That's
and
right.
That's all that I say. Know that script.
Yeah, I see a lot of the telemarketers in this call trying to make up language when they don't need to.
Right.
Yeah, you just don't need to.
That's what the script does. It takes you away from the mundane asking these questions that you don't want to ask, and a lot of times the client doesn't care. That's when they start to drown out on you, and now they're like, I hang up on people when I get calls in and I take telemarketing.
Yeah, because it's right. It's no longer.
I listen because I want to hear what they're doing,
yeah,
and I catch it, and then I'm like, dude, I gotta go and hang up.
Well, the minute.
The
minute it's not about you, or the minute you can't identify what's in it for you, because it is an interruption, right? Still an interruption. So good. Do we have any, does Renelle have any? Oh no, we don't have her set up on something that records yet. Or is she using?
No.
How
And
about,
she started working again, so
Good.
I'm doing calls again.
okay. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. All right. Let me go back to Angeli here. Angeli.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So final thoughts too. I think there's a little bit of responsibility on the team leaders too. I mean, you showed the market update and she had no idea what that was. I mean, how long has Carla been operating?
100%.
The optimal approach. So
yeah.
Like, where's the team leader's accountability with making sure that she has the right stuff?
Carla, would you please tell Scott and Kyle that it's all 3 of us next week on our coaching call?
Okay.
It's all 3 of us. Period.
I'm listening to Cheryl's calls every day so that I can give her the quick feedback.
Yep. There's
Make sure she's using it correctly.
There's no doubt about it. The system doesn't police itself. The manager does. All right, let's move on here. Here we go to the next one.
Hello, this is Dee. Hi, my name is Jordan. I'm calling from Jag Realty Group. I'm looking for Jigu. Yes. Oh, hi. Yes, I'm calling because I noticed that you registered on your website early this year because you're looking for homes in Salem and Beaverton under $350,000, correct? Yeah, that's correct. Great. Yes, I just wanted to make sure that we send you the properties you wanted to see. Is this the kind of properties you're both interested in, or should we make some adjustments on your search? No, that's good. We keep checking with my husband. I get their website and I got their emails and we keep checking the houses. Oh, okay, that's great. Well, I have you. I'm curious. Why are you thinking about buying a house?
Wow, really good.
Well, we were planning to buy the house this year, but we realized that the prices are really up right now. That's why we are just trying to consider like when we can buy the house. I see. And why? What made you think about buying?
Good. She pushes for it.
Buying a house? Mm-hmm. Well, we live in an apartment and we have three dogs. That's why we wanna have a house which should be in a very like nice area, and also it should have a garden too. Oh, all right. So how many bedrooms do you think would you like, or square footage? Because I know having three dogs. Yeah, we need to have at least 3 bedrooms. Okay. And yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to buy a house? 10. 10.
Good.
All right. Well, you mentioned that you're looking into doing that next year, right? Well, I mean, whenever we can find a house, we are trying to buy a house. But right now, the houses that we are looking for is really expensive, and the houses that we can afford is not, like the thing that not the houses that we are looking for. So that's why we just keep looking actually. I see. I understand. Have you already spoke with somebody, sit down with them, talk about the process and how you can be competitive in this crazy market? We did it once, but it was a long time ago. Oh, all right. So if it works with you, I can actually have our principal broker reach out to you. So, you can talk about your options. And if you're ready, I can have him call you back at your most convenient time. How about that? Yeah, sure. I will be available, not today, but tomorrow's Friday, right? Friday after 5 p.m. Oh, all right. Actually, he's just available Monday to Friday between business hours. Would you be available next week instead? Yeah, sure. What date and time? On Monday, let's say at 2 p.m. Does it work? 2 p.m. All right, awesome. Well, yeah, I'll just set you up for Monday, 2 p.m. then. Just keep on.
All right, I'm going to stop there. Wow. Talk about somebody who came on the calls, has listened, and has improved. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, that's just yeah. Oh, you're here. Good. Wow. What an improvement. You get the award for the most improved today. That was really improved. I mean, really much better. What did you think when you listened to it?
Yeah, because I'm also listening with Carla's case study earlier, and I really had that struggle before, not to the word whiskers, and I've been trying to just listen to them, and I can say now I'm a bit conscious, or I mean, I'm a bit aware of myself that I do talk back, so I try to like hold myself back to agreeing with them, or some just those word whiskers. And I actually get the whole concept now on what needs to be done and what information needs to be gathered from that conversation. So sometimes when I ask about the why question, I'm not sure it's about my accent, or they just weren't just listening to me at all, or very excited about it. They sometimes misunderstand it for when. So when they answer the when, I just acknowledge it, but I just go back to the why, because that's what we're aiming for here.
I loved that you did that. I just thought you stuck with it. You really did, like a dog on a bone. You just stuck with it. I think, Angeli, there are a lot of reasons why somebody doesn't hear us. I don't necessarily think in that case it was any accent issue at all. I just think that she's emoting. She's emotional about prices being up. She says it multiple times. So really what she's hoping for is a better deal. Would you agree? Did you pick that up?
Yes, and that's what I was hoping to also get, because I had a lot of like follow-ups before. Like it just depends on the market, and they will just tell me that they will be ready when the market is okay, and I don't have the information. So I have second thoughts in just throwing it away, because they do have like a potential, I mean, a probability that they'll be selling, but it's just that they're just waiting for the market, and I don't know how
Angeli,
to
yeah,
really.
I got you. I got you. Okay. It's really the third beat where your offer is still the weakest part. Okay. Because you really now have a beautiful introduction where my notes were, as you were talking, I just thought your fulfillment was beautiful. Your word whisker was a strange, just out of place piece of puzzle where you try to buy yourself some time and said, after she started talking, when you really got her to answer why, she went into detail. I have 3 dogs, right? I want a nice yard. I want a garden. She doesn't want to live in an apartment anymore, right? You got it perfectly. The flower just went whoop, and had you given up on the first why, you wouldn't have put her in that position. And I can't remember which one of the folks said it today. Sometimes we feel awkward asking these questions, but that's exactly why we ask why. So, and you stayed with it. You didn't get nervous. You didn't worry about it. You knew that you needed to get the answer. And she just opened up like a flower with absolute specific detail. Lives in an apartment, has 3 dogs. She's probably driving the neighbors crazy. She wants a nice area. She wants a garden. She wants the picket fence, right? Her own privacy. Beautiful. But then strangely you went, oh, and so you need 3 bedrooms? That's a word whisker. It's not as bad as the others where you're cutting it off because it's pertinent to what she needs. Okay. But we're already past that. You already did a good job of fulfilling. Do you want these 2 areas under this? That was fine. Yes, I'm getting them. Yes, we look at them. Yes, they're fine. We didn't even go back there. The idea of fulfillment doesn't mean you're going to become the realtor and really start digging in. Your job is, okay, she's getting the stuff from us. She's being fulfilled. And she's been getting them for a while. I loved your intro too. You knew how to easily go back into, you were doing this some time ago. Here we are today. Is this working? It was wonderfully delicious to me because I love improvement. And that's training. You took the coaching and you went and did something with against the training because you stayed with the why. And after the little weird word whisker about the bedrooms, you went right to it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you? And you listened, and she answered 10. So now this is where you get confused. It's the third beat, okay? This is the offer. So it's you started to frame it out. So next year, well, why did you do that? You know what I mean? I mean, all she said to you was that she wanted to get sort of, without saying it maybe explicitly, I have to go back and listen to it. She wants a better price. The prices are up, right? The things they want are too expensive. Well, what I could do is I could book time with our principal. He knows how to find a great deal in any market. May I set that up? Boom, you're done. Follow?
All right.
So
But regarding
Yep.
the bedrooms and the square footage, actually, it's also because with those calls, it's one of my role to verify if we have the right criteria. So I just want to make sure the information we have is right as well. Because with the notes that I have in my end, it's just the location. So
Angeli,
need to have the-
Angeli, where does that belong then?
that's gonna be with the backend system, I think. The information.
No. Where do you belong asking that question? Which one of the beats?
That's gonna be the first beat.
Right. So it comes after the second beat or during the second beat or right before. It was just a little bit all over the place because you're in the second beat already where we're asking why. And you went back a step to ask about bedrooms.
Gotcha.
You follow me? Now, again,
Yeah,
this is all just nervous and training and all like Carla said, it's all this soup we get thrown into. I understand there's a lot going on, but if we just see these beats, fulfillment, why and motivation, closing for the insight meeting. That's it. So we certainly have an offer in the first one. I'd like to send you some information. I'd like to update your criteria, whatever. There's some offer there, but the big offer that we're all after is the insight meeting with the principal, with the listing agent, with the buyer, whatever. That's the offer we're trying to make. And the value is not going to be lost on somebody like her. But what's the value in a buyer's meeting for this particular lady? What's the value?
For that, better deals, because she's been looking around and she just doesn't have the perfect house.
Why don't I get you on the phone with the principal, Josh, who will go over his buyer plan and how he uses that in any market to get his clients the best deal. May I set that up? You got it? Because that's what it is. Whether we have a seller plan or a buyer plan, we have a plan for you to help you get the top dollar for your house in any market, to help you get the best deal in any market. That's it. That's all it is. How? Well, you got to get with us to figure out how, because we need to ask more questions as the agent. The agent, I'm sure, will have more questions for you so they can really refine how they would do it for you. That's why you need an insight offer so they can ask specific questions about your house, about what you want and where you want it. Follow me?
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, in a perfect world, this lady would also get mailed out a package, which I know Adrian in your office is working on, where the buyer plan is in there. Some sold. She's just getting listings active. But look, let me show you what the money's buying, says the agent. Let me get you some sold properties. See what I'm saying? So this is just, we just now have to beef up that offer of why an insight meeting is valuable, because he'll show you how he would do it for you. Forget about the market. Well, I'm waiting till next year. Well, why? Why? Is your perception that next year you're going to get a better deal? What if you could get a better deal right now? There are plenty of deals right now. In fact, we'll show you a list of them. We'll send some solds out and we'll show you people buy properties every day. And in fact, if they work with us, we get them a good deal. You see what I mean? It becomes very logical. So I'm using logical tone here. You're really, really improved here. Like, this is way better. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel the control you have?
Yeah, I can really say that it's better than the other, when I was still training here.
You were totally in control of this
started.
call. This is just really, like you and Carla, this is just refinement, right? This is just refinement. To maintain the kind of control you had, that was a beautiful job. Very, very well done. But now I want to hear the offer. So you heard her. You're doing a better job listening because you become self-conscious of word whispering, interrupting, rushing. Just like Carla, you've been coached in the same thing. Stop rushing. Stop talking and stop making things up, right? So the one thing that you made up was, well, you want to do it next year. She didn't say that. She said she was a 10. You know what a 10 means? Now, if I could find the deal. Got it?
Yes, got it.
Okay, good. Bravo. Proud of you. That's
Yeah.
just incredible improvement. Like in a very short period of time. That's inspirational for anybody listening, I'll guarantee you.
All right.
Good job. All right, Jason,
Yeah.
let's do this. You're going to round me out here today. This is the last one. Here we go.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Mr. Patel.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Patel. My name is Cheryl, and I work in Miranda Real Estate Group. And I was just calling because a lot of homes have sold in your neighborhood recently. So we have an abundance of qualified buyers who are looking. So I'm just curious if you considered selling your home.
Everything's for sale if the price is right.
I got you. Great. Well, what I'd like to do is send you out some information that will help you get started. May I do that?
Sure, why not?
All right, wonderful. So let me just go, I just want to confirm the best mailing address. And I have 22 Shelbourne Drive there in Half Moon. Is that correct?
Yep.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it is a beautiful home. Why are you thinking about selling it?
No, like I said, anything for sale if the price is right.
If the price is right, I gotcha. I understand. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated would you be in selling?
It depends on the price, right?
Right. Gotcha. Great. So we're going to go ahead and get y'all some information there to your address. And since you're motivated, and if of course, like you said, the price is right, I'd be happy to schedule
you with our lead agent, Jason Young, to drop off some additional information and additional information, but also give you some insights to help you sell it when you're ready. May I do that?
Well, I know Willie, so I would rather work with Willie.
Willie from Miranda.
Yeah, I do.
Willie Shaker. Okay. All right, so I'll make that note. So if you know Willie. Now, before Willie comes out, let me go ahead and check the schedule. All right. So today is the 18th.
After April 30th.
Oh, after August the 30th?
Yeah, sorry, August the 30th.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so let's get into September. How about
All right, let's grab this. That's enough. Jason, break it down.
I mean, she's 3 days in at this point. She got through the beats. To me, it's just practice. I think as the conversation unfolded, there's questionable level of motivation. And it's a very long call. She actually goes through the whole summary sheet as well. So I was happy with it. Happy with the progress 3 days in.
Yep. Is Cheryl on with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Danny.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm doing well. After listening to that phone call, Jason and I, we talk about every day or text every day, and I'm really learning a lot. He's helped me out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it was nervousness.
Sure.
After listening to my calls that Jason resends, I can kind of hear myself being a little bit nervous. I have been in the sales part of it, being in sales for quite some time. I have that sales mentality, which I've got to stop.
Explain that. That's interesting. So explain that to me. What do you, in your words, my firefly that I just caught there was sales mentality. What does that mean to you?
In my other positions that I had, it was like sell. Just kind of rush through everything. My main goal was to get them on the phone, get them sold, get off that phone.
Yeah.
So I've got to get rid of that mentality. I need to slow down and listen and stop. And I think once I do that, plus I'm taking notes on things that Jason lets me know. And I'm just taking little notes, especially. And then today I just wrote down some little notes for when I get on the phone again today.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this has really helped. And with this helping, I think I'll improve myself. I know I will improve myself on other calls.
Yeah. And watch the scripting, because this is a circle, just so everybody understands what you're doing. You're just circle prospecting an area. Right.
Yes, sir.
So we want
Right,
to, so we want to really watch that language, right?
Yes.
When you slow down, Cheryl, I'm calling you because I noticed that you live in X neighborhood, and I want to let you know that the latest railing came out. So I'd like to send you a copy, some stuff like that. But it really there are a lot of things that we can use. That's just if we're using a market update. The other thing would be more so, and I didn't hear it, Jason, so I don't know what script you kind of pull in from here. But, to me, there are really 4 reasons to call, I guess. One is the market update, right? And that's, could I get you a copy of that so you can see how it affects your value? That's really about as generic as it gets, because people are wondering how the market's doing, right? The number 2 one is, I'm calling you because I noticed that you live in the next neighborhood, and I want to let you know that we just listed this, or we just sold this. And even if you didn't do it, this just listed in your neighborhood, this just sold in your neighborhood, right? So you're the purveyor of information. And on the tail of that information, you're fulfilling something that's interesting and important to them. Let's just go with the just sold, because to me, if you're going to circle prospect in a hot market like yours, I think it's, I'm calling you because I noticed that you live in Beacon Hill, and I wanted to let you know that 123 Charles Street just sold, and I'd like to send you a full listing sheet so you can see all the pictures and details, so you know how it compares to your home and how it affects your value. May I do that? It's the concept of testing, because all this is theoretical until we listen to the consumer's reaction to it. But this almost felt like the script was putting her in a place where, like she says, she's defaulting to sell, because I think the script supports sell, Cheryl. I think the words that were given to you or that you're using, they support a sell it mentality, right? Whereas you didn't really identify any value for him. Now, you get lucky to the extent it's sort of the pot luck. You're just going through all this list and you're trying to find somebody who has a heartbeat. And like he says, the further down the line you get, he's not really motivated. And we would expect that a lot. I mean, the more he says, if I get the right price, well, what is the right price? Just ask him.
Yeah.
What's the right price?
Yeah.
Say, tell me the right price. Because we'll send you some information and I can book a Zoom call or a quick call with Jason to talk about that price and see what's achievable. You follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I surely do.
So the two of you, I think, should look at, the scripting that we have for circle prospecting, which was largely just pulled from what we know are the circumstances for calling. So if we're just really randomly calling, we go with sort of the market update. So I'd like to send you, a copy of our market update. I mean, that's really just trying to build a list of people in the market update so they can see what's going on. And then the segue is the beat too. By the way, while I have you, I'm wondering if any of your neighbors are thinking about selling. How about you? You thinking about selling?
Yeah, Danny, real quick. So this is a split test, right? So I was using what you have here.
Yep.
Which is, by the way, who do you know in the neighborhood that might be thinking about selling? I was split testing more directly. Hey, since the market's so hot, would you consider selling your property? Because what you're showing on screen kind of beats around the bush, which is fine.
You're right. You're right. It beats around the bush. So does the expired script. So does the probate. So does the FSBO, because that's what makes it different. You made her sound like everybody else.
No, we're split testing it.
Yeah, you made her sound like everybody else. Is my critique. Okay. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd like to. Like I talked about a lot earlier this week. The mastermind.
So where's my split test on the other way?
I'll send recordings.
Yeah. Well, if we're going to split test something on this call, I want them side by side, because then the only judge is the consumer. Follow? But you're darn right. I'm taking your testosterone out of it, right? That's what I'm trying to do. No more testosterone on these scripts. It beats around the bush. Duh. Right? Stop proving my point for me. Guys, we're the worst. We just don't get it fast enough. We don't get the answer fast enough. We don't get the appointment fast enough. This is service. There's none of it in this script. None of it. None of it. So it's not that it beats around the bush. You took a whole service beat out. That's the point I'm trying to make. You want to see if you can go faster, which is the male brain. I know it is. I've been coaching the male brain, including my own, for years. That's what I believe the problem is in general with rushing. And she sounds it. She sounds like she wants something, and then she gets lost because there was no service. It doesn't allow her female intuition to blossom in this conversation, in my opinion. Right? And my experience, more importantly than my opinion. My opinion is based on my experience. Let's leave it at that. Okay? So I think you two need to work on making sure there's a service beat here. There's a fulfillment beat. There's something in it for them. See, this is why this industry ends up being all about discounters. Well, if I can get the right price, why are you going to do for less? Because we set it up that way. That's a logical consumer conclusion when we just go and we try to take. Yeah, sure, says the wise guy. What's in it for me? A lower commission? A top ridiculous price? To me, I don't want to be in that business anymore, ever. Cheryl, any thoughts on that?
Jason and I will get together and kind of, talking things over, see what we could do. So, because I love doing the circle. I love doing both of them actually, but, and I'll get better. I mean, I'm sure I will.
Of course, it's your first week. Of course, it's your first week. But I think going back to this though, I think it's on the principle to understand this first, right? I mean, it's whether it's, me, whether it's Jason, whether it's Scott and Kyle, we've got to understand why there's a better way first. And that's to be served. Hey, welcome to Shoe Store. You want to try some shoes on? No, I don't. Not anymore. I might have. You follow me? It's always, we're just such net takers in our brain. We can't wait to just net take. It's a problem, right? It's a problem I'm trying to solve. All right, enough of me. That's it. You got my critique, and it's based on a systematic belief that fulfilling, even in circle prospecting, is possible. And it's based on all of those things. They're all in the mind map. A market update tells them how's the market. Just listed tells them new, fresh listings. Keep an eye on this one. Want a sheet? Hey, here's a just sold. Want a sheet? Hey, I really do have a legitimate buyer who's getting killed. Like his name is Bob Daniels, and I want to, find a property, and you seem to identify it. Do you know any of the neighbors? How about you? Those are all legitimate things to talk about that really you can give them something that's in it for them. And it follows that formula. Strip out the offer of some sort of service. You're just a cold caller. All right, everybody, that's enough of me. Good job here today. Those were good, especially Carla. Bravo for staying in the hot seat for a good 40 minutes there, because I just thought it was so meaty and so good. You saw Angeli's improvement. Go for the same, and Angeli, tighten yours up. And Cheryl, welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Yeah,
I'm trying my best, Danny.
No, Carla, you got to stop saying that. Carla, you got to stop saying that. That's that low self-image of yourself, right? It's not about trying your best. That's bad language. Get rid of it. You're here training and coaching and improving. You're training, coaching, and improving. Trying my best makes it sound so beaten down. Follow me? Inside you, that's the self-image issue I said. You verbalized it. I'm trying my best. Carla, you're doing more than trying your best. You're battling.
Okay.
That's competitive, but I'm trying my best. You sound so beaten up. Don't dare leave this call feeling anything but uplifted, because then you wouldn't have listened to me and what I said about, I already believe this, and you're here, and you just proved it with that lane. I'm trying my best. What? Come on. You're way better than that.
Okay.
You're way better than that. That sounds like something that got hit by a car. That sounded like roadkill voice, right? You're way better than you're way better than that. Believe me.
Okay.
You're way someday you'll believe what I believe about you. Okay?
Okay.
But see, all those languages, you should do what I just did. I did this with my son Marty for a whole week while we were playing hockey. The first thing I did was, when he was having the anxious moments, I said, get the pad of paper out. Okay? Write down the things that are really bugging you right now. And he wrote down some powerful stuff. And he's like, oh my gosh, I sound crazy when I write it on paper, right? You need to write down, I'm trying my best. That's the effect, right? But what's causing you to say that? And maybe in this case, it's a low self-image, right? Which you don't need to have. Cool? You're safe in here, by the way. You're safe in here. You're very safe in here. Got it?
Yeah.
I'll say it again. You're very safe in here.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
I think you're too hard on yourself too, so be careful of that. This is nothing more than training, coaching, and improving. Training, coaching, improving. And a lot of the time you snap back. Like Angeli was going great. She snapped back to putting one of the pieces of the puzzle out of order. No problem. Fix it. And then the training that's deficient is how to articulate the offer. So we trained her on it, right? Hey, look you got to make a better offer of that insight meeting. See, this is what training is. You train them against the system. And then when I have some feedback, I can listen to her make the offer and I can coach her against it. So all we did was train you. That, going back to my notes on you, there was this, Gail picked it up. It was very glaringly, why do you think it didn't sell? That's just not anywhere. Now, I do believe that Scott or Kyle might have told you to say that. I do believe that Jason just said to her to do it. And I'm going to collide into both of them. If they're doing that, I don't think they're right. And these guys all get it. These guys all get it. They get that this is a healthy debate about this, right? Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah.
Can you show the mind map again? The one I see on that conversion doesn't have the market update language.
You don't have that one there?
What I see in conversion doesn't have the market update tree or branch, if you will.
Under circle prospecting?
Yes.
That's not good. So let's remedy that right now. And remind me next week, we'll go right at building that out in, that what we did this week for expireds, right? We talked about that. So we'll build that out next week.
Yeah, if you can just show what you were showing, I just want to take a screen grab out.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Sure, I'm going to call you after this so we can tweak it.
I can't. I have a team meeting. So I wouldn't tweak anything. Nothing to tweak. Just go for it. Test it. And we'll deal with it next week. Really. I mean, we've tweaked plenty. I just go for it. If you want
I just want to take the language.
Yeah. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, let me screen down. Let me go down here too. Get this stuff too. So you see what I was saying? You know, I think there are multiple reasons for interfering with people in a circle prospecting. Those are all of them that I could come up with.
Yeah, the top one's fine. If you can just at some point get this loaded in the conversion, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. Okay. I got to go, guys. I've got the Griffin Realty Group training postponed to 2:30, so I got to get with those guys and gals. Appreciate y'all. Good job here today. Keep plugging.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome. You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye,
Have a
everybody.
good weekend, everybody.
Yep.